What? Oh, I don't know what episode we're on. What number?
109.
109? Shit. Okay. Do that again. We're probably not going to edit because we don't really edit stuff. But,
yeah, leave it in.
All right.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind podcast, the podcast where we like to normalize checking in on your homies. I'm Mike. That is also Mike. This is episode 109, and we have a really awesome guest. So awesome that I decided to suit up for this. You guys can't tell.
Tuxedo t-shirts, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna ask him about his different musical projects, maybe some unboxing questions. But dude, we have our boy Alex Portugal in the studio.
Yeah.
What's up? Hello, guys.
What's up, man?
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. I like the setup.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. It's a lot smaller than it looks on camera.
It is, but you know what? It's okay. We'll let the viewers think whatever they want. It's a massive home.
Massive studio space. It's all good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Dude, first off, how was that drive?
All right. So, yeah, I came here from Whittier. I kind of didn't piece together that I would be driving with the traffic on a Monday, but I brought my wife with me, Stephanie. Carpool action, you know. So it was like a hour 20, and we were listening to No Bragging Rights the whole way. We were just like, let's just get into the mix of it and get hyped and go from there.
Okay.
Which record were you listening to?
It was Cycles.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like nostalgic for me, and yeah.
I think that's probably is that when we went out with you guys? Was that out?
That is. I think that's what it is too. Like, it's one of the last tours that we did with Destruction King was you guys. Winds of Plague, Impending Doom. Was that tour?
I think, yes.
Yeah, Impending Doom, and there was some other band from Arizona that's not around anymore. But yeah, we were playing off that before our van exploded, and we called it quits. Jeez. You know,
Vans, isn't that
crazy? Yeah. I hate 15-passenger vans, 12-passenger, even 2-passenger vans if they're out there. I hate them all.
Dude, what a lineup! First of all, like everything on that bill on that tour makes sense except for No Bragging Rights.
Even we felt kind of
play.
Yeah,
that's just our history, I think.
Yeah, it was just weird. But I remember even with you guys, like, if there was a tour, like, at that point, like, you guys were on it. It didn't matter if it was like deathcore, metalcore, heavy, hip hop. It could have been R&B. It's like, of course, dude. No Bragging Rights is on tour with them, man. That's all they're doing right now.
It was like the best and worst problem ever.
Yeah, I could imagine. Now, seeing it from the outside, I was like, that's the coolest thing. And now I'm like, oh man, they were probably tired. Your lower back is probably done. You know.
Yeah. Lower back, knees.
Yeah.
Upper body.
Yeah, everything. Totally.
I like, for a long time, I can never think, because I always felt like if I ever started to think of like stepping away from music, that it was just like snowball, and then I'd lose all passion for it. So I was like always so strong, and like, no, like don't think that way. But then like we were so fucking tired, like all the time. And it was starting to show, like starting to have like little small fights here and there as far as like arguments and stuff. And I kind of even forget this too. Martin quit. Yeah. Martin quit before the Census Fail tour, which we give him shit for because that's like the biggest tour we've ever done. And he quit right before it. But that's just because of burnout.
Yeah, it happens.
So, do you remember like what the smallest petty fight was at that time that you guys had
for MBR?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it could be anything as dumb as like where we're gonna eat or whatever, or like, or somebody, or just I don't know, like. Probably like somebody not loading in enough. Yeah. Or like I don't know, just anything. Anything you guys know.
Yeah. Stupid. That's true.
Yeah, once you hit that point of burnout, or once you hit that point where it's like everything that the other dudes do just pisses you off. No matter how much you love these dudes, it's like what the fuck? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, you're breathing too hard, man.
Yeah.
Chill.
I don't like the way you chew.
Yeah.
Like, do you have to order that sandwich again?
Yeah, literally. Oh my god, I'm having flashbacks.
So for Destruction of a King, that was kind of one of the questions that was asked, is what was it that led to you guys splitting up that first time around?
So the short answer was it really just kind of felt like we became a greatest hits band. And I think even when I kind of got out of like that scene, I would see that with a lot of bands, you know. Even now I said like, oh, I was listening to Cycles. I wasn't listening to anything like after. And when I listened to you guys, that's what I listened to. And everyone just wanted to hear like the same songs, which I totally get because we wrote these songs like, you know, for that reason. I think too, we really started to let other people drive the band that weren't in the band. Whereas, you know, there was management, there's people booking, well, my friend can do a really good mix. This friend could do a really good master. Like, oh, well, you guys should put it out like that. Like, so literally just people just telling us how to do Destruction of a King after we did the first EP, which literally like set us off. Right. That is exactly what happened. I know some of them will probably see this and be like, you talking about me? Yeah, I'm probably talking about you.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm probably talking about you.
You meant well, but you weren't in the band.
So like all that happened, and you know, I'm such a nut for like marketing, and so I could kind of see like how our fans were changing, or people just didn't care, or even just reading the energy of the crowd, honestly, live. And I just knew what was happening. Money was always like crazy. We didn't have any sort of like funding from like labels or anything like that, so it came out of our pockets. And I think honestly we were just tired and kind of burned out in our own way, and we were just like, it's just done. Like we just need to sit, like we could only play Dirty Diana so many times before, you know what I'm saying, like before we're just like, this isn't fun. We couldn't put out new music because nobody cared, you know. And I think it was hard to like admit that, but that's primarily I feel what happened.
I feel like that was also a symptom of that time in music, because that happened with a ton of people. People are like, well, I like what I like, I don't like this new shit, I don't care what you guys are writing, or if you guys are growing as a band or whatever, just play me all the shit that I liked,
that first shit I found before anyone else did. I was
the same way with seeing bands too. Like, you know, I wanted to hear like those songs, but for us, you know, it was just the time and place, and that's just like how the world intended it to be at that time. And you know, it's okay. I'm not mad about it. But yeah, that's what happened, I feel.
And then after that, I know that you played in a band called Low Love, you know, which pretty recently. Was there anything in between there, or did you kind of walk away and you were like, No,
so all the guys that were in Destruction of a King, like towards the end, majority of the members that were there like since the beginning, you know, we finished, we're like, oh, I still like miss music, but the idea never really came like, oh, let's just do Destruction of a King again, because I think we were still kind of like we don't want to do that. Mind you, like up until we started Low Love, I still get I don't even go on Facebook, but I had Facebook messages of just like, do you still have a hard copy of the CD? Like, can you send me the CD, like this and that? I'm like, I don't, I'm sorry. Or people buying merch, or, you know, tagging me on Instagram. So Low Love was just like, okay, let's just do what we essentially wanted to do with Destruction of a King. It was all the same, literally all the same dudes, right? All the same dudes that played in Destruction of a King, except like our drummer. We used Brandon, who was in this is super throwback, but Dead in Existence back in the day. So he drummed for him. So he filled in for us for a while, and then we kind of had some other drummers. But we did all that, and it was essentially starting from scratch, which is really, really hard now and stuff. And we really enjoyed the music, but for me, why we stopped Low Love, and I think for the other guys, I don't know why. It could have just been like what was happening in my life, but I just honestly had the itch to do Destruction of a King again. It was just kind of like, well, why not? You know, there's no rules. Like, you know, I don't have like, I like the music that we were doing with Low Love. It was fun, but I was just like, I don't know why, I just want to try Destruction of a King again. Talk to the guys, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. And it's the same member, so we're like, yeah, let's just swap the profile. So we literally archived everything, and I was like, let's see if people care. And then we put up like a teaser, and I was like, oh shoot, like more people care than we expected. We're like, oh no, like, and then we started getting hit up, and I'm grateful for this, but we started getting hit up by so many people where I was a little overwhelmed. I was like, okay, like East Coast Texas, you know, all the like, thankfully like the A markets in the US, and yeah, so that's it. Nothing bad with Low Love. It was just like, I don't know, let's just try Destruction of a King again, and instead of making a whole new profile, we literally just swapped it. Yeah. So
yeah, I was curious because like I mean, when I first heard Low Love, I think we even talked about it on this podcast when I first saw you guys play at Rockefeller's. I was like, oh shit, I fuck with this. I love this shit.
Yeah. Sweet, thank you.
And even him and Martin were giving me shit because they're like, Mike's in the middle of the pit, just fucking jamming, like, get out of here. Yeah, no, you're not. It's not safe. You know? Yeah. But then, Billy had filled in a few times for Torture Culture too. Like he had played with us a couple times.
The man of every band. Yeah. He's played for every single band.
And then all of a sudden, I just like didn't see anything from Low Love anymore. So I was like, what happened? Where did everything go? And then the Destruction of a King announcement dropped, and I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, so before Destruction of a King broke up, that Instagram archived turned into Low Love, and then Low Love got archived and just went right back to Destruction of a King. And to even just changing the name, I'm like, does Destruction of a King exist as a username? I was like, it does. Like, it's meant to be, you know? Like, so I was super psyched on that.
Dude, that's so cool.
But yeah, there's nothing bad with the Low Love thing. We were just like, yeah, let's just do DOAK again. Like, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like, I think at least for us, it felt like we didn't have really any obligations. Like we technically weren't really signed when we came back because we did like, I guess Pure Noise had an option on our album on our next release, but we're like, they're not going to pick it up because we coming back was like exciting for us. We're like, we're going to just do our own thing. We're going to record it, release it ourselves, and then we'll play when we want. Like, yeah. Is that kind of where you guys are at?
Yeah. So that's the dream, right? That we always wanted to do, was just kind of play what we want and where we want. So when we started to kind of like talk, like, should we just do Destruction of a King? It was a fan out in San Antonio, Texas, who reached out, and she was like, hey, like, you remember me? I was like, yeah, what's up? And she was like, so I'm having like my birthday show, and I want to do it at the old White Rabbit, which used to be in San Antonio, and now it's called the Paper Tiger. So she's like, oh, sick. Can you guys come out here and play on end of March? I'll post a flyer. We're going to post a flyer probably tonight. And I was like, let me talk to the guys. And they were like, if it covers our flights, like we all work, like, then yeah, we'll go play. And as long as let us sell merch. She was like, all right, cool. And I was just like, what if we just, and that's literally, we're like, what if we just do that and then do another show? And I was like, screw it, let's like do a comeback. So our first show as of right now, we're gonna try to do a California one before, but we just have this fly out date to go play San Antonio, and now we're setting it up for New York right now, talking to somebody in Hawaii and trying to do like Washington and that. And that's literally what we're like, as long as our flight is taken care of, like I'll stay in a hotel room, like it's better than a van. Like all is good, you know. So we're gonna be doing that. Yeah,
that's a nice change coming back to it. It's like, oh, we're adults, we can afford a hotel.
Yeah. And now like I was like, oh, like shows can cost more than $10 now. I've been so out of the loop, so it's like a $20 show isn't out of the question. So I feel like what we're asking are people reaching out. When I tell them that, they're like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, oh my God. Like I was all scared. I was just like, you understand, right? That's more than $100, you know, like freaking out. It's all our guarantees ever really were back in the day.
Dude, yeah, and the fact that like one, you're getting fly out shows, so that's you know, you get to just play these markets that like normally you'd have to route to, and 7 shows in between here and there, and
rough shows.
Just we need to play this show so we have gas to get to that show. And, you know, just to make it happen. So that's how we're gonna go about it. Definitely like just go crazy with like the merchandise, which was like one of my favorite parts about it, aside from performing, and just market and brand it the way that like we should have done it from the get-go after the first EP, and just enjoy it. With some lower back pain now, you know. You know.
You got me pumped on. So it's called the Tiger.
It's the Paper Tiger now, I want to say, but it used to be the old White Rabbit in San Antonio, and that was a place that we would play, and it would just I still don't understand to this day, but like they were just so hyped on the band, and it felt good, and there weren't fights or anything. It was just completely different from like California, but like they were just super excited for us. So cool little fly out date for us for sure.
It was sick. It had that little side room too.
Yeah, so we like playing the smaller room. I think they're doing everything on main stage, which is also fine. We've played, but when it's more intimate and kind of like grungy, like that's also my favorite. Yeah.
And then kind of, I guess, rewinding a little bit. So when you guys decided to do Destruction of a King again. Did this decision come like prior to Tough Love, or was it after Tough Love happened, where you guys were like, oh, okay?
It was definitely after Tough Love, and I think even before then we did another one-off with Bury Your Dead in Upland, somewhere over there. But like even after we did Tough Love, we were just like, all right, like that was cool, and we didn't really think anything of it. Just went right back like to our normal life, or went right back to Low Love, and didn't like, it wasn't even a thought, honestly. I was just like, oh, I'm good, you know. Yeah.
Wild.
I'm pumped.
That's cool, man. I'm so stuck on. I have a form of something going on, because like when I get a thought, I like get stuck on it, and all I'm thinking about is like, oh, I want to fucking play the Old White Rabbit now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Do you want to do questions, or do we?
So we can jump in some questions.
I'll talk less. I'll just fire off.
Nah, dude, talk more.
We don't really have we don't have really much rules or time limits or anything.
All right, so we had talked about what made you guys want to get the band back together, and then a few comments just saying like, don't ever play Dirty Diana in this climate, I'm begging you. And then
others just get canceled.
Others saying, is Dirty Diana making a comeback? So you got kind of both sides of the.
Yeah, I mean we're ready to play that. I get it. I'm fine with it now. Like it's not anything. I mean, I was 17, I think, and I'm gonna be 34 this year, so you can do the math on that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So actually, question came in. What changes do you see in the hardcore scene nowadays compared to like the earlier 2000s?
Okay, so what's interesting now that I can say, because I'm wildly out of the loop now, because even when we were looking at doing a California show, just talking to some people around here, I felt like an old man. I was like, well, what's cool now? Like what venues do people care about? Like, is Chain still cool? Like things like that. And I mean, it took me, I felt like light years to even realize that the Haven was the place we did our last show, and that the room was flipped. Like I was just like staring at it. I'm like, I think that's it. Like it has the brick
against the glass.
Yeah. I just lost the question. What was the question?
Oh, what differences do you see between early 2000s?
So
now?
What's weird now is I feel the music that like we played when the EP came out, and all the bands that we played with then, I feel like that is popular all over again. And seeing like younger kids there like listen to it like it's the first time they've ever heard that. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like chuggy slow breakdowns, or like really like cool, or two steps, or like a stomp, like stuff like that. But it kind of feels, for me, when I look at videos, because I haven't really gone to shows, it kind of just feels like 2010 again.
Yeah,
a little bit. It feels like it doesn't matter who's playing the show anymore. People are just like, oh, there's a show, like let's go out and pay and see who's playing. So it kind of feels like how it was when we first started, and then it kind of got in this weird thing, like if your band wasn't cool, also kind of when we broke up, like no one was coming out. But I feel like we're not in that realm right now.
Yeah, I think it feels different right now because one, some of the kids are younger, and they're just coming out to like have a good time. But then at the same time, you're like, are they here for the bands, or are they here just to hang out with their friends?
Correct.
Their friends are here, right? So it's a toss up. But these kids they're circle pitting, they're moshing, and they're like, and you could tell some of them are clueless.
Yeah.
But they're just fucking having a good ass time. It's cool. But yeah, and not only are like the big chuggy breakdowns back or anything like that, mixed bills are back too.
Yeah.
So you'll have a hardcore show that'll have like a death metal band also playing with like a more metalcore band, and then just a straight like beat down blend of whatever they want to do.
Yeah, it's super cool. So it feels nostalgic right now. It feels like we're coming back like at the right time, and it just seems like shows just look so fun.
Yeah,
right now people are still crowd killing. Like there's like Instagrams for it, which is pretty cool. I was always, I mean, I was never that guy. I was the weenie at the shows. I was just like afraid, so I would just like hide and stuff. So.
Do you follow like the pit cam vids?
Yeah, Jason, who runs it, is our boy, and he's helped us write for Low Love, and he's going to help us write for like Destruction of a King. Ooh, I love watching it, but like I'll watch it from like the back, just like, you go, Glenn Coca, like It's not for me, but it looks fun. I guess I get it and don't get it at the same time, you know.
Yeah, we're supposed to get Jason on the podcast at some point. Just come.
He'll be fun. I took him to his first show, which was As Blood Runs Black at Smart City Grinds in Azusa.
Damn, sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll remember that. My mom dropped us off. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Fun fact.
As Blood Runs Black at Smart City Grinds.
It was crazy. I was scared there too. I'm afraid of everything, but that was a scary show. It was really scary. There was a pole right in the middle of that venue.
Dude, yeah. I love when they just wrap it with like carpet.
Yeah,
it's not gonna
not
do
work.
shit, but
No.
it's just
feels good for like a millisecond before you break your arm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I think something awesome for you is coming back too is like being able to use your like how you guys, cause I kind of remember you guys just like I guess branding or marketing even back when you guys were still going. I think now it's like become even more of like a thing. Like
You have to do it.
Yeah, like, you have to. And I think there probably was a time like a couple of years ago, if there was a band that had like a big merch layout, then it was almost pretentious, or like you're like, oh,
Yeah.
or envious. Maybe
7 shirts.
That's what happened to us. People, and I mean, we went crazy with we printed tags. We were just like, no, like we're gonna make it feel good, and we're gonna charge more for our t-shirts. And the guys were like, dude, what do you like? This was still right. $10 t-shirts. $15 was like, oh, yeah. You have three screens on it. You have 2 colors. Like, come on. But I was like, no, we're gonna find apparel that we can rip it off. We're gonna do printed tags. I think 100th was like the only band at the time like doing that. I was like, screw that, we could do that. So we did printed tags. We sold baseball bats at shows. Like we threw we had condoms. We had beach ball. Like we're just like, we're gonna like brand the hell out of this, because even if you don't know who we are or you don't like us, like you're going to remember us like by that. And we got so much shit for it, but that was how we funded the band, like, and then some, like towards the end. So
Dude, and it's crazy. It was so before its time, because after that you started seeing like, oh, we're gonna do this Terror shirt printed on Carhartt.
Yep.
And like sell it for $60.
And they're selling the Carhartt part, you know? Yeah, like,
right.
That's
it's
like
just a fucking Terror screen print on a Carhartt shirt, but people dig it, you know, like the Champion collapse. It's just a Champion sweatshirt, but all of a sudden, you know, you've got that branding involved, and so that's like, it's such a huge thing to have done before it was like cool.
Yeah, we did lookbook videos for like merchandise that we released, and like no one really cared at the time, but now when I look back at it, I was like, I feel like I could say it now. Like I just felt like we were ahead, where it was just like, you're different, like screw you guys. Like, and so it came off pretentious. Like I get it, but I don't regret it at the the same time. It was fun. I'm gonna do it again.
You got to do it.
Yeah,
you got to bring back all that.
Definitely,
energy,
definitely. Yeah, but yeah.
You know what a lookbook is, Mike?
I don't. I'm like trying to think. I'm like,
I'll pull up one after. But Larry, we're like, okay, we're gonna release 6 new merch items, so we would shoot photos for all of it, and then do a YouTube video showcasing it. That essentially you're like, I want this, and then be like, think like a band teasing an album, but with merchandise.
Dude.
That's it. There you go.
Yeah. It's like you see like clothing lines that'll drop like a video of somebody like walking wearing the shirt, doing that with band merch and shit like that. Just make it look cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I can see how that would have been hard way back when.
Like that.
We looked like pretentious asses. Like, but I was just like, I don't know, just look cool. But I was so into streetwear, so
yeah,
they did it.
All right, next question. What do you need to have the right headspace in order to write music?
I think honestly, you know, you could be the happiest person, the saddest person, angriest, but as far as being in the right headspace, I like writing stuff down. That's a lot harder for me, but a lot of like the early Destruction of a King stuff, whether I was mad, happy, or sad, I try to always just write it down. Now, like I keep just, you know, iPhone notes tab and just like write that. But, you know, as far as like a headspace, it's hard to say. You know, everybody's like different and stuff. I feel like I write the best for some reason when I watch movies, because I get so into it. I get sad or mad or happy when things are happening in movies, and that's like the best time for me to write. But it's different for everyone. There's no right or wrong answer, I feel.
Yeah. So more of a like vocalist perspective, when you're writing, do you prefer to have a song done and let me piece together what I need on that song, or do you like to write and then build the song around the lyrics? And
so the first thing you said is probably my favorite, like having a song done, because I obviously I'm having to write to a song already. Mm-hmm. I don't write the music, so I'm kind of like at mercy to that. I hear songs in syllables, so I could, I listen to a song like, okay, right here, like a da 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 da. So I'll write those numbers. It's weird, but I write the numbers out, and then I'd start piecing the words based off how many syllables that I'm hearing there. I've tried doing just like a rambling thing of like lyrics and getting the song, and then I'll start cutting and pasting to fit it. But I like having the song and then writing like over it like that. It's a little Rain Man-esque, but it works for me. That's yeah, I hear it in numbers.
So is your voice notes as crazy as probably ours are, where you just, I have this idea, I gotta put this pattern
I've done that. So because I don't write the only song I ever wrote, and I want to say it was the whole song, if not it's just the opening thing, was Dirty Diana, that first, because that's all I could play. So it's just one string and the same on the 6th fret. That's all I know. But I used to do voice notes, but now it's just if I think of like a line where I'm just like, oh, that sounds cool, I just write that line. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, it's a syllable thing for me. I have to hear it, and I try to challenge myself. I'm very into like hip hop, so even just fitting as many syllables as I can in a certain spot. I do that. My car rides, if there was a camera, you would hear me just like ba-da-da-da-da-ba-da, like just doing all that. It's tough though. That's the part I'm nervous about getting back into. Dude. Yeah. Good question though.
I'm a have to do melody like over. I like the same thing. I like the music. Mm-hmm. I don't write. But syllables things like that would help me out so much. But I'd get stuck. I think
you're wordy.
I'm too wordy.
You say a lot.
I'm wordy. It's okay. It's a vocalist thing, maybe wordy. But even writing music too, I would have to be like, all right, this part just go jun 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 stop like. But then they're the guys. Luckily, they're like, got it, and then they nail it. I'm like, you got it, man. Yeah.
For me, like I don't know if this is like an ADD thing, but I'll think of like let's say lyrics or like a pattern or like syllables, whatever. And I'll write the lyric down, and then like a day later, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing there? Like,
I've had that.
I don't, all the time. Like, I never remember. And in I was like, that was so cool. I remember it being so sick.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I recently went through and deleted a bunch of like voice notes. And it's all of that. It's all like me like, that's sick. And then go back to it later. I'm like, nope. Let's not.
I think I would do. I've done that, and I've even come across. I'm like, that's the melody to Whitney Houston's. Like, so, like, I'm just like, and I scrap it. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Dude, I recorded this chorus idea, like pattern because we have a different project together. We were trying to figure out the chorus for a song.
Okay.
And I was at work, and like. And the way that my office at work is set up is like there's a small room, and then it almost looks like a recording studio. There's like a glass window and then a door, and then out there are like the people that I'm training. Mm-hmm. So I have our little office, and then I can walk out there and talk to them.
Yeah.
And I figured out a melody for this chorus that we've all been going back and forth on trying to work on. So I was like, I need to record this before I forget it. So I'm in my office. And I'm like singing really low into my phone. And like, I thought I'm just going to send this to Mike and Ryan and Rick. And, and then like a week later we got to lunch and Martin's like, I heard your chorus idea. He was giving me so much. He's like, dog, you even had vibrato in there. Fuck. It's just like me singing.
Someone just looking through your door, and you're like, "What's he doing?"
I was like, "Just don't worry about it. It's good lunch." Yeah. I like had like my AirPods in. I was trying to be as quiet as possible. Dude,
oh god,
embarrassing.
That's great.
But we got it. We got what we needed.
Yeah, I got a banger out there. That's good. Heck yeah. Yeah.
Well,
there is a lot. My goodness.
A lot of them are like repetitive.
Okay.
The same thing.
Oh man.
Yeah. People asking, there says you guys need to come to Vegas?
I'm obsessed. I think I just got obsessed with Vegas once I was an adult with money for once. But I love Vegas. I would happily go to Vegas. It was hit or miss every time we played there. Like I'd have to be stacked with locals, but I will go to Vegas and stay at the Cosmopolitan and enjoy myself after.
Like now we have the money to hang out and do cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Help my gambling addiction, you know?
What was that venue that was over by the Stratosphere?
I didn't play it.
I know what you're talking about.
I want to say Destruction of a Rose, and you guys played.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
I don't remember. There was I've played at an outside venue. I've played like a couple different inside ones. There's always the same guy promoting it. Yeah. I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't know if I just said it.
It's the name of his.
He called himself that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. So.
Even still to this day, I think.
Is he still?
I think it's still Juke. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I'm nervous. I'm not laughing at the name. I just get nervous.
You won't get canceled.
Yeah. It just makes me nervous that is his name. Someone's gonna be like, why are they saying that?
Why are they? And they're saying it so low under their breath. Like it's just.
Yeah.
Some of our
clip it.
I feel like some of our most like awkward moments on the show is when like we have like a good friend, and at least for me, I'm constantly thinking like, can I say that? Am I gonna get him in trouble? Is his wife gonna get mad?
I tell this story.
Off limits here. My wife's here. She knows everything, so we're good to go, boys. I have nothing to hide, you know. Yeah.
The outdoor venue in Vegas, was that for the festival or was that like the venue?
I can't remember. That one's just so vague to me. We had one good like show. It was, I don't even know if it was considered Vegas, but it's there. We called it being in Vegas, and he put on the show, and you guys played there too. I feel after
the hall.
Yeah, white room. I mean, fluorescent lights, small stage. It's not even a stage. I don't think. I can't remember. There's nothing around it. I remember. I mean, it's off the strip.
The Eagles.
The hall. Okay,
yeah.
That's where we played. That show was fun and went off. Justin, our bass player, his whole head fell off his tall, I don't know, but really tall bass cab.
Peg.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube. You guys want to run that?
Sick.
Run it. No,
it'll show up right here.
Yeah, he's pissed. It literally falls, and he just is just like, oh. And like people were trying to help, but that makes it worse because they're like, let me push it up by the knobs that you like set for your tone and stuff.
What caused it to fall? Was it the way he rapped?
His core, yeah. So him and I probably moved the most, and he rapped, and it just. I mean, if you do run the video, it just really slow. No. Yeah, and he kind of watches it fall too. Like he's like, it's too late. Yeah,
there's nothing I can do to save this.
Yeah, so it's just like, well, do what you do.
That I feel like I was just recently telling this story that happened to Creative Void's guitar player Austin. We were in like Klamath Falls, somewhere small. And he had kept kicking his cable out of his head. So he'd be like jamming, he'd kick, and then he'd kick the cable out and have to run back and plug it back in.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know what, I'm going to loop it through the handle at the top and plug it in. And he kicked his whole head off of the...
Literally just mimicking someone yanking it off, right? Yeah.
That was smooth, man.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I'm coming to Vegas. Someone make it happen. I guess I'll hit up the guy. You know?
Yeah. He's still, dude. He's still,
yeah.
that JK guy, you know.
Yeah. That great guy. He's cool.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people ask questions like Vegas, Seattle. Any plans?
Yeah, I do want to go up there. It's hard because I'm kind of relearning like who's booking in these areas. But I remember playing Seattle. Like that whole area, and it was fun. I really liked it. It was the only time we ever went up there, but every show was fun. I really enjoyed it. So make it happen. Help me get up there. Just DM us. I try to make it as simple as possible to just get out there, and we will fly and make it super easy. And
so I guess to kind of jump off of that, are you guys planning to work with booking agents, work with anybody, or are you just trying to keep it as DIY as possible? I'm open to booking because I also got burned out with Destruction of a King because I had to do everything. You know, we did the booking, the marketing, like we didn't have anyone doing any of that for us. So I am very open to that. I'm going to be very transparent with like, this is what we need to get there and play. So if it makes sense for you and
to get a cut and you can help me achieve this so long as the demand is there, then like we'll do it. Yeah. So I've done enough business now, and like our EP was on a label for a second. I bought those rights back. So it's like,
oh, sick.
Even just doing real estate now with just negotiation and stuff, like I know what I want. Like if you can make it happen, great. If not, I'll go to the next person.
Yeah. Was that a fight to buy that back, or was it pretty?
It was a little bit of a fight. I didn't understand like the demand we had back then, and like how big we could have been if we were doing it right. I'm happy to share, we bought it back for $1,000 at the time. I was like, oh, so you mean the lottery? Like, yeah, hang on, buddy. Let me scratch a ticket and get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got it back for $1,000, and that was before a lot of bands knew how to throw it up on like TuneCore distro and get money for it. But even when we broke up, like it helped me with bills, like along the way. People kept streaming it. So even now, like it still generates money for us, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But $1,000. Yeah.
I'm honestly, I mean, yeah, at the time, I'm sure it was like, fuck, we got to come up with $1,000.
I think they tried like 5 at first, and I was just like, oh, you mean 2 lotteries? Like, come on, dude. Don't got this. No one has money like this. Come on. Yeah. Dude. But that's pretty cheap for what a lot of bands have to deal with now to get like the rights back or make money off their music.
And that label, we don't have to say their name.
Yeah.
It's gone, right?
I'm pretty sure. I was thinking about it like on the way here, and I'm like, I don't think they exist anymore. Or if they do, like it's you know, it's small. But
the owner of that label was definitely a very from what I understand, not the easiest person to work with.
I think for me, it in my head, right, if you get signed to a label back then, first off, you made it. You're a rock star. You're famous, right? Everything's good. Everything's good for you. We did it. Yeah. And you know, I would hear of like other bands, you know, like you guys or even just other friends' bands. They're like, yeah, we ran out of merch on the road, and then our company got us merch. And I was like, oh, like that was the first problem we ran into. We ran out of merch, and I was like, this is sick. We sold out. And our manager at the time's like, no, that's not good. Yeah. You have to keep doing it to make money on the road. I was like, oh. And then I hit him up. I was like, hey, we're stuck in New York and we're out of merch. Now we're opposite of California. Like, can you get us more merch or like front us some money? And they didn't do it. And really? Maybe he couldn't, right? I don't know like anyone's financial situation, but it was after that where I was just like, this doesn't work. Like you're not doing anything except you just put our album on iTunes. I could do that.
Yeah.
You know, like what else are you doing? Like, oh, well, we introduced you to your booking agent. And then that's when I realized I was like, yeah, but I also could have just shot him a MySpace message. Yeah. That's how old it was. And tell him like, hey, I'll give you a cut as long as you book us. And you know, they gave me the runaround, and I was like, oh, this sucks. You're doing this to all these bands. Like, yeah, it's crappy, you know?
We were involved with and I'll shout him out, and I'll shout out the guy. I don't give a fuck, because we signed with Standby Records when it was Nick, and he was in the band right before their eyes, or before their eyes, before their eyes. We signed with him because he was cool. He was awesome. And then, like shortly after, he sold the label to this guy named Neil, who is a dickhead motherfucker. Fuck you. And,
there's songs about Neil.
I wrote a song about him. And so like Neil is just like one of the biggest con artists ever, because he would tell the bands like, oh hey, you know, record your album at this studio. It's a studio that I think he owned.
Oh, okay.
And so he would be like, you know, it's gonna be the album's gonna cost like, your budget's $10,000. And it's like sick. If you hear that as a band, you're like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, but it's like, but really, it only cost him like $2,000. Yeah. And now, but regardless, you're on the hook for that other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did that.
That's how it works. Yeah.
we had to buy ourselves out. Yep. With the same situation with like money we didn't have, and it put us in a hole for like years.
Yeah. So. And I know it's happening to bands now too, because how I said the scene from what I'm seeing feels nostalgic. I'm seeing other labels mimicking what these not so nice labels would do, and I'm like, oh no, like they're taking a cut. Or I talk to some of them, and you know, they tell me they're split or what they're getting fronted to like record. I'm like, by the way, it doesn't cost that much to record. Like I'll make it happen for you, like cheaper by going to my buddy over here. But yeah, it's unfortunate. People take advantage of people for it's all money. So that got stressful too. You know, you have to keep touring, you have to keep making money too, and yeah. So I mean, I'm open to a booking agent. I don't know what a label could bring us. I've never had that taste, so I'm really unsure. I'm uneducated in that, but yeah.
I really think it just depends on the label. You know, like there's horror stories obviously, but then there's also you know, stories about labels that are like the most, you know, giving and like that are genuinely just want to see you succeed.
Correct.
And
but those labels are usually ones that like basically what they can offer you, you're already kind of doing for yourself.
Yeah.
Like the nice ones.
Yeah.
Pure Noise has been sick though. Thank you, Jake.
I'm all Pure Noise. Let's talk, man. I mean, let's get a record going.
Dude, Pure Noise is and I'm not just saying this because I love Jake and like he's my homie. Like every band that I talk to in like the almost 15 years now that Pure Noise has been around, like has had such good experiences, even like with their
I've
staff
heard, yeah,
and like the new guys coming in, like but I still remember when it was just Jake and like even back then Creative Void were like getting ready to put out a record, and it was like we talked to a couple other labels, and Jake was like, well, why don't I just put it out? And we're like, yeah, why don't you just put it out? That'd be sick, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, like Jake was kind of like the mastermind behind all of that, but now I don't really know how heavily he's involved with the bands on the label, but back then, like every band that worked with him fucking loved him, you know? And like I think just setting that tone is so huge, especially in like in music like this. Like it's tough to know like who really gives a shit about you and who doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird territory.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like what comes of it. I know we're gonna put out a single. I'm hyped on it. I know it'll be fun and do well, and then we'll do an EP and then, you know, see what happens. But as of right now, like to be able to come back and I'm like, all right, like I could do these fly out dates and like I'm set for the year, you know, like to go out and market how we want to, and I don't know, see what can happen.
That's the best situation.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. I would say you're active, so band like, dude. So if you're telling me,
because then now it'll stand out to like if somebody gives you something that you can't already do for yourself, then sick.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Then it's like,
that's
okay,
true.
Well,
And you guys, you know, we kind of talked about it earlier. You guys understood early on like branding and things like that, and now everything that, even like in your day job, like what you guys have learned through social media work and branding and just staying in front of people's eyes,
correct,
is gonna apply tenfold to the band now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And my wife and I, same thing. Like that's how we make our money. It's social media every single day. Even like with real estate, the only reason we get work or we're able to do transactions is because social media and promoting. So like our whole house, like everything we buy, everything we do, like it's because of social media. So it's mostly like her. She taught me a lot and stuff. But then I kind of knew what Destruction of Kings when we started doing lookbook videos or printed tags. Like I had her to be like, yeah, that's cool. Like do that and kind of get the outside perspective. So it helped us, and you know, to have somebody that understood that too, and not just be like, just get a 9 to 5. We were both, we've tried 9 to 5s together. Like when we first met, and we're like, this sucks. Let's go back to like making content. So definitely going to do that all over again with Destruction of King, and I'm hyped for it. Vegas and Seattle. Someone make it happen.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah,
that's super exciting.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I want to invite ourselves to your San Antonio show.
We've been telling everybody like come, because then after we're like, I want to go to Austin after too and hang out. But you should, yeah.
March, maybe the Feels on Wheels will be up and running.
It's the Saturday. Easter hits either like a day or 2 days after, but it's the last Saturday of March before Easter. 29th. Okay. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, speaking about the Feels on Wheels, real quick tangent. It's back in the shop. We got it back. It was terrifying because it's this huge high top conversion van, and when you hit the brakes,
Nothing happens.
Nothing happened.
That's fine, right?
Yeah. And so like I took it to the shop. They were like, yeah, everything's good. We replaced the brake booster and master cylinder. new rotors, all this other stuff. I was like, cool. I was driving home and I thought I was going to rear end my girlfriend. Not in the cool way. In like in the way that like this is going to damage my car because she's driving my car and then the van also. So it was. So I called the dude and I was like, yo, like the van's not stopping. And he's like, no, it should be. I was like, no, dude, it's not. And he's like, bring it back this weekend. So I brought it over to the shop on Sunday. And they were like, yeah, we don't have dudes that will know how to work on a van this old here today. We need to wait for our master mechanic. He'll be out on Tuesday. I was like, well, I'm going to leave it here because I don't want to drive it.
Yeah, I'll walk home now.
Yeah, I legit walked home because it's like down the street from here. So I just walked back home.
Hell yeah.
Did you do the ballet, just toe touch? Because that's what I did.
Dude, it's weird now because the brakes do engage, but you could tell they're not fully engaging. So it just kind of slows the van down. But like, if you don't slow down in time, you better like swerve to not hit the person.
I was getting off the freeway.
It had to be terrifying.
And I like hit it, nothing happened. And then I was like on the, like as soon as I felt like I was like pushing it into the ground to get it to start slowing down. Thankfully nobody was off the exit. And I like slowed down just enough to like kind of cruise in and then kind of keep going. It was yeah, it was
like have to Flintstone your ass there. Your feet are gonna fly through the floorboard.
Yeah, it's a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy, but it was nice for the day I had it back. I was like, oh, I missed this.
That's what you were talking about taking to Texas, or is that what?
Yeah, I mean,
all right. So well, the 10 freeway is a straight shot. So I mean, just gas it and time it when you get to El Paso and start hitting the brake.
Like, minus the brake situation, like it rides really well. Like, it made it to. We did a Pacific Northwest run in it.
Okay.
You know, like we drove it to San Diego. Like we've taken it to Vegas. Like it's got some miles on it. It's done well, but it just Mike did something to the brakes.
Rode it too hard, man.
Yeah,
we'll negotiate that into the show. Be like, you gotta fix my friend's brakes.
Yeah,
they have to come. There's 10 more heads coming if you can make this happen. Yeah,
they're gonna load that whole van up and just bring everybody with them.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, but yeah, dude, that the fly out shows are gonna be sick, man. Like those are.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Yeah, Seattle, New York. My wife's trying to make New York happen for December because we want to spend Christmas out there, but I'm like, it's gonna be cold. I don't know. It is.
It's nice at Christmas.
Yeah. When we played New York, we played in we played in Queens. Mm-hmm. I was scared for my life when I was playing. Like it went off. It was so fun. That's when I'm excited to go back. Got a hot dog on the street. Probably something was wrong with it for sure, but it was good.
Pretzels on the street are dope.
Yeah, I was amped.
Yeah. Were you guys van and trailering it?
Yeah.
How was
in New York City was scary, dude. Yeah. So I didn't.
It's the fucking worst.
I'm a terrible driver when it came to like backing up. So I lost my wallet at Mall of America one tour. So then I was like, well, I can't drive. And then when I got my license back, I had gone so long without a license. I was like, it's kind of nice not driving. I just became the diva of the band. I just never drove. But the one time we were in New York City, we were all just like, oh my God. Like trying to find parking. Like I was like, let's just go home. I'm over this. Like, why are we doing this? You know,
dude. New York too. Like the cops were like, "Oh yeah, don't park on the side street. Your car would get broken into." And we're like, "Well, aren't you gonna be like standing here?" They're like,
"Yeah, douche. Yeah,
dude, it's gonna get broken into. You park here, it's gonna get broken into."
Yeah.
We're like, oh, "Okay,
all right, cool, thank you."
There's also no shame in knowing that you can't like parallel park the van and just handing the keys to the person that's the best at.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, I'm not gonna be able to do this.
I can't. My wife can parallel park. I can't parallel park. So yeah, when we had Diego, we're just like, it's a parking spot. I just chuck him the keys, and you're like, there you go, buddy. Do your job. And that was it.
Sick.
Dude, yeah. Martin is our
parallel parker.
I wonder if he can still do it now.
Yeah,
I think it's like riding a bike
with a van and trailer.
Yeah, dude, we had a van and trailer for.
Oh, that's right.
The last.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I was like impressed that he like could still do it because I remember you could do it back then too. Christian was actually everyone except me.
Yeah,
everyone. Except
it's me. A vocalist thing, man. More and more we have stuff in common.
Yeah. We'll just sit in the back.
Yeah.
I didn't drive it all last tour.
No.
Yeah. You flip one van and then you know get to drive. And then apparently
flip the van once and
flip it once and you lose driving privileges apparently. But.
Yeah, I'd fall asleep a lot, so I just was
dude,
you're not supposed to do that when you drive, you know. So I just
you're like, all right,
I was out. Yeah,
still feeling a little tired, guys, but
I was
okay.
out big time.
Dude, especially like those winter tours. It's snowing.
Oh, I'm
having
good.
to drive slow and
Yeah,
can't see shit.
never again. I'm good. I don't need that in my life right now.
New York in December, man.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna build a tunnel to get to the show. I'll cry or something.
Dude, more people, just not questions, but lovely Desert Girl says, not a question, but please come back to New Mexico.
Oh man, New Mexico was fun too. We played in Flagship. It was in the middle of nowhere, but same thing, went off every time. I would love to go. They have green chilies.
Another response was, I'll touch the ... sky. And then heavy breakdown into heavier breakdown.
Correct. Yes.
You guys, I feel like you guys had some pretty epic pauses.
Yeah, pause and
nice
just
and good lead-ins.
Yeah, just lyric call out and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a challenge because I'm competing against our first EP again. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
Did you guys got a lot of old school people in here? Not a question, but I'll be seeing y'all for the first time. But I'll be seeing y'all for the first time ever. I jammed y'all back in 2009.
I'm old. Yeah, that's it. That is it. I graduated high school in 08. So and that's when we were like all the early, like we had a really crappy album before like the EP that took us off. But yeah, I mean, 2008. We had shirts that like called out that year too. So
sick.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna be 34, and I feel it. But it's okay. We'll just warm up before we get on stage. You know.
Did you guys ever have foil T-shirts?
No, because we wanted to. I started working. I did sales for merchandise. It was Glad Rags, and then it turned into AKT. Mm-hmm. And then I learned that it lasts a wash or two. Yeah. It's really expensive, and for me, just being like the money guy, I was just like, but the cost of the garment, and if I'm trying to sell it for this, and I was like, my profit margin, I was like, it is not worth it. No. Yeah. They were cool though. Or people would do side prints, like weird prints like that, or I mean anything that after it was like 2 colors, I was like, this better fucking sell, or I'm gonna scream like a lot.
How long did you work for AKT and Glad Rags?
I want to say almost 2 years, and then that was the last real like job I had. I did like a marketing internship after that, but I was like, I'm going to open up my own men's clothing store in Whittier. Mm-hmm. So I just quit and signed a lease in Uptown Whittier and opened up a business credit card for like $15K, maxed it out. And I was like, I started a clothing store. And that's how I left that job. So it was like a little less than 2 years. My boss was not happy, but shout out Fef, went to his wedding. We shot his wedding, so we are on good terms. But yeah, it was cool. I learned everything about merchandise, what stuff costs, how to budget, you know, for merchandise. So it helped me a lot. And then seeing what other bands would print, like Newfound Glory was one of the big accounts there. So I got to like see like, oh, they sent all this back, it didn't sell, or like, you know, they need more of this shirt. And so I would keep tabs on that too, to just figure out how to make more money.
I remember starting a streetwear brand when Martin was working over there. And
what was it?
It was called ATLA.
Okay.
So it was like the Atlanta, Los Angeles connection thing. And I remember like talking to Vince about like, well, I want to do like the sewn on tags and like all this stuff like that. And I was like, fuck, everything gets so expensive.
Yeah.
I still have tags to this day. Like,
because you buy 1,000, right?
Yeah. So I still have like packets of tags that I've just never did anything with.
Yeah. So I did that too. And like, that was my favorite thing too, is to help bands back then. I'm like, I know like a label looks cool, but here's what you have to do. Get the label. You're going to get 500. So you just need to use them. Then you're going to drive to downtown LA. You want black beanies, cool. But now you need to do 6 green, 6 blue. They're not going to sell, but it's going to look like you have more stuff. Yep. Then buy backpacks, because that could go on that too. And then basically just stretch it out and then make it look like you have a store, you know. Yep. And bands did it and it worked. So it was cool.
So are you telling us that there's going to be DOAK backpacks coming out?
Maybe, man. I mean, like, we're gonna make
crossbody bag.
We're actually making a trip to downtown LA this week to look at hats for destruction. So
Sick.
yeah, I'm pretty hyped on that. I'm like, screw the music. I'm like, I just want to make clothes, man.
I should. There was a. We could probably talk about this after. There was a company I went through called Capture that did like full custom caps.
Okay.
So like 5-panel, 6-panel,
Yeah.
like that full builds and everything. But it turns out they have a separate site that does blanks, but it's the same company that does Brixton and Mitchell and Ness and all that stuff. So.
You'd be surprised the hats they use, like what they cost.
Yeah.
They're like $4 some of them.
Yeah, it's
each.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's cheap. Yeah.
Everybody does like the Yupongs, but you're like, for the same price, you can get like a full custom.
Yeah. My wife and I now, like when we find a hat or a shirt, to look at the label because they rip it. Yeah. There's other things on there. I'm like, all right, type this in. I'm like, there it is. Yeah, yeah, we got it. You know, it's fun. Yeah, awesome.
I kind of miss streetwear. At times, I miss streetwear. Same. I like it, but it's so hard to keep up with trends now.
Yeah, it costs money too. I found out, and that's tough too. You know, so I'm like, as long as I have a good pair of sneakers or something, like now I just kind of wear blinks and stuff, and
yeah.
It's easier. It's less stressful. I wear the same clothes every week now.
Minimalist approach, man.
Yeah, I'm so happy with it. So I'm wear the same thing on stage every time. I'm gonna look the same. Might change a hat here and there, but that's about it, man.
But the beauty of that is then you can cut it into so many different videos and pull footage from everything. And
there you go. Look the same. Yeah, I'll make this one color, this one black and white. I'm like, that was a different show. I swear.
Yeah.
MXPX had the best like weekend of music videos. They did it with their. I think they shot a video which is like their normal hair color. Second video, they bleached their hair. Third video, they all dyed their hair a different color.
Oh.
So they got. I think it was 3 videos out of like one, or at least 1 week of shooting or something.
It's smart. I like that a lot. Heck yeah.
Well, I like lame, boring vocalist questions.
You do it. Yeah, whatever you want.
So, actually, I guess I don't know. Well, one, do you warm up?
Kind of. So my face hurts more than anything than like my throat or voice. So it's a lot of this action and then like doing that, basically just looking like something's wrong with me. But I try to like do it in like a corner or something like that. Little things, but I honestly have never like had a warm up, and I feel like I've gone too hard on a warm up, and I go on stage and like I'm like, ah, shit, I went too ham in the bathroom right now. I'm screaming to myself, but I won't scream or anything. It's a lot of just like rubbing my face or even just like here in my throat or just really getting my face loose just so I could enunciate better, open my mouth easier, which yeah, it sounds kind of weird, but you know, things like that. But no, I've never really had like too much of a warm up other than that.
Yeah, not even for Low Love?
No.
Mike's so upset.
No, sorry. I think because I'm so nervous, I can't even focus like on a warm up. So for me, it's just like I'm trying to like get in like to the mindset because I'm pretty like, we joked about it before we started, but like I don't have a deep voice. Like I'm very like I'm not an angry person. I'm not like tough guy. Like so I'm trying to get in that realm of like really kind of being angry on stage or a little bit more aggressive, which that's not how I am. So I try to more so tap into that. And then aside from that, just like some face stuff, and that's about it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's nice because
I work so hard.
I have to do the most.
I mean, but you sing well. Like you're a great vocalist. Sometimes I go up and I'm like, this is not sounding great, and I have to rely on just like stage presence because I'm a tough critic. We're all tough critics, but sometimes it's not coming out the way I want, and I'm just like, well, I don't know,
I feel like the last time, it was just like the last, I think 3 times maybe we've seen you. Both of us, but Mike and I would be like, dude, he's like dynamic, like, and it's not like I feel like I said, you make like good decisions vocally.
Thank you.
And can't believe you don't really.
I just kind of just winging it,
Maybe I need to stop. maybe that's my thing. Maybe I'm just doing too much.
Yeah, that's fun. I appreciate that. Thank you.
With the new Destruction of a King EP, is it written? Are you guys writing right now?
We have a single that Jason has helped us with that I have lyrics for that I haven't been excited for like a song in a long time, but I'm like, this is gonna hit. Like I know, and I'm like, I know what to put here. I know what to put there. You know, aside from syllables, I also write like, how's it gonna come like from the audience perspective too? Like, what are they gonna hear in this song that they're gonna remember every single time? So I try to write in that aspect too, and so I have good hooks. I would say not so much a chorus, but like a good hook lines here and there where I know. It could be a crappy show, but they're going to hear the song and know the song and know that line. And that's what I need.
And then to piggyback off that question, are we going to get any of kind of like the low love vibe in the new Destruction of a King?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I always...
groovy.
Yeah. That's how I always wanted to write. My biggest influences right now come from hip hop. Even like on our last DOAK album that flopped with the coffin on it, there's a lot of like lines I even like... kind of like chopped and screwed from like Biggie, just because that's what I want to do with Low Love. I was like, I like rap. I know how to enunciate that with the syllables. I know what syllables, like how many I could fit in a certain spot. So like, I'm definitely gonna do that with the new DOAK stuff, and it'll be fun. I like doing it live. Saves my voice. So I don't have to scream as much. I don't love screaming. It's hard. It hurts, you know, and it's cool to have like a low, deep thing. But like since I've gotten older, like. And you hear me talk, like I don't have a low voice, so it's tough. Yeah, I can only do it here and there as like a highlight. Yeah, really, you know. Yeah, but I'll do that for sure.
That's sick, and I think now's the time for it, man. Like now's the
we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, there's no rules anymore.
Yeah, and that's what we used to be afraid of, right? I'm like, it has to have a breakdown. It has to have a two-step. This has gone on too long. Like, yeah, put a circle pit so we could throw this here, but like now I'm like. It's fun. We can do whatever we want. We don't have management. I'm not. I used to be so worried about being like cool. I was like afraid to go to shows. Like beatdown shows were the scariest thing for me because they all knew each other. I'm like they're all big and huge. Yeah. They could punch me and kill me and I just wasn't that fighting guy. I don't crowd kill. I never did any of that stuff. So, you know, I can admit like I would like write or like do vocals sometimes a certain way because I'm like this will make. People mosh. This will like look tougher, you know, because like you kind of had to back then. You had to dress a certain way, look a certain way. Yeah. But now I'm like, oh, I can just do whatever I want. I don't really care about anything other than my wife, the dog, and paying my bills. So I can just have fun with this now, you know. Yeah. So I think it's gonna just be a lot more fun. I think that's gonna show on stage as well, and you'll hear that in the record too. Just try different stuff and see what happens.
Yeah, man. It's. I'm excited. I'm excited to see, you know, kind of what comes of it. Just because, you know, like I said, like I was a fan of Low Love, right? Like, I like that whole vibe. You know, I love hip hop too. So it's like I like that groovy, you know, like kind of rappy type shit. And then to see that mixed with, you know, what you guys would do with Destruction of a King, I think that would be just yeah. I'm super amped for it, and I'm excited to see how people receive it. So.
Yeah, nothing bad will happen. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be good. Yeah. Yeah.
We're in such a time of like excitement for music. And like you're saying, it's like we're coming back from the shit that was cool like 10 years ago is like back now, and people are treating it like it's something new, which is a little upsetting, but it's like
it happens with music, you know. It goes through like cycles. Nostalgia is just super in right now. Yeah. With everything, you know. But it's cool to see somebody who's 16, 17, 18 hear it for the first time, right? That style of music, and just be like that feeling of like, okay, today I'm gonna get in the pit, or like today I'm gonna try that one like mosh move. Yeah. When like most of the time people like us or back then, or people who were heavily involved with that, it'd be like, oh, this person sucks. Like what a weenie, you know. But like to go through that again, because that's what happened to me. Like I remember being at like Chain watching AFB, and I was just like 1, 2, 3, and then like run in and just like all uncoordinated, and that's just like what got me into it. And that was the exciting part, and buying merch and just like, you know, like what's Gildan? Like why does it shrink? I don't understand. What's this AAA brand?
Why are these sleeves so fucking crazy big?
Am I shaped weird? Yeah. But just like going through all that, so it's cool to see kids go through all that again. And now I'm like, the roles are gonna be reversed. Like, oh, like Now there's gonna be these young people in their early 20s even, and like, pay your bills. Like, I'm 34 now. I'm just like, just wait till you get older. You know, like, yeah. And I just remember thinking at that age, like seeing older guys play, I'm like, this guy's kind of old, huh? Yeah. He's still trying to make it crack, huh? Like, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. We look young. We're good. Yeah.
You guys will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. People are excited. So yeah, it feels good.
Dude, it just looks like there's a lot of like hype, and even just on the 2 posts you guys put up on the page.
Yeah, it's scary. Yeah. Even like I told you guys, I was kind of worried when you guys were like, oh, ask questions. I'm like, no. Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that.
Fuck you. Fuck
yeah.
that
So
man.
even just getting one question, like whoever are people, Vegas, Seattle, like, thank you. Like, it's cool. Very, very grateful.
I think you got the most questions that we've received.
Comments.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we'll take. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you guys. Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, I want to do a quick mental health check.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right. Mental health check is where we like to check in weekly, see where we're at mentally. That way, if we're going well, maybe what's going on, or what are we doing that's helping us go right. Or if we're not going well, maybe what's going on in our lives, or what are we maybe neglecting to do that is keeping us in a funk. So, Alex, you want to go first?
What do I say, or what do I talk? Just like, how am I doing?
Yeah. We're just for this last week. We're
so it's been probably a stressful time for me, even last year into now. But I'm finding it okay to talk about with people, and I think that's why I really like your guys' like podcast, because going back when we were younger, like it wasn't cool to talk about it, and now it's acceptable and it feels good. So find someone to talk to. Yeah, it works for me, and hopefully works for other people too.
Nice.
Yeah.
One of the things I like that you do is you, like, even today you post like, here's what I'm going to accomplish today. Like, here's what I'm gonna do. Hold yourself accountable. Small goals. Yeah. Small goals. Even just 1% a day. If you can't give 100, that's all you can do, right? Yeah. Tomorrow's never promised, is what I always say. So, I have a bad habit of dwelling on next week, 2 days from now, like, and a month from now and stuff. I'm like, I can really only worry about like what's in front of me right now. So yeah, that's all we can do. Yeah.
The stresses of something that may never come.
Yeah. And it riddles a lot of people, honestly. And it's tough. Some days are hard, some days are easy, but again, it's just focusing on what's in front of you and doing with what you can. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, actually, I'll ask after this. I still have a question. Anyway. Okay. Go, Mike. Where you at?
I've been good. A little annoyed with the van situation, just because I was like, oh shit, I thought we were done with this. I thought I was ready. But other than that, like, everything's been pretty chill. I've been kind of getting back into like torture culture mode, because we have a show coming up. So focusing less on playing guitar and more on like my voice. So that's been cool, kind of just being able to jump back and forth and do those things. And like this week, you're just like, we're trying to lock down, just get in as many practices as we can before, because we're playing the Haven on Friday. And so yeah, just when this episode comes out, that day we're playing. But yeah, other than that, I've been chilling, man. It's been we're kind of getting back into like a routine of things, like, now that like crime is back working again, and you're just kind of getting our schedules laid out and figuring out like what we're doing. So that's been nice. It's been cool to kind of have like some structure again, and it not just be like crazy all over the place. But yeah, and then I think I agreed to play bass for Burner State. If Ty's baby comes when you guys have that show
Sick.
in March. So, because our homie Ty, who also plays in Torture Culture, plays in Mike's other punk band, we had his baby shower this weekend, and then
nice, congrats.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It was very nice.
It was a huge. It looked more like a wedding reception than
oh my gosh,
than a baby shower. It wasn't massive, but like at a golf course over by in Pomona by the Fairplex. But yeah, so Ty, they booked a show like right around the due date for the kid.
Did that go over well?
So Ty was just kind of like, maybe we probably shouldn't have booked that. I was like, it's fine. I'll play bass for you if you have to go in. And he was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, damn, what did I sign up for? Shit. But it'll be fun.
You know what's funny is we're supposed to be filming that.
Are you?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, whatever.
I'll show up in a headband and like a Spider-Man jersey. You know,
do blackface.
Clip it.
It's not offensive if Ty gives me permission, right? Anyways,
yeah, we can reschedule.
All right. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Singing for me is like one of my coping mechanisms. I've been kind of just stressed with just stuff that's gonna be coming up this year.
Like what?
I need to take a page out of your book and not focus much on that. Worry about what's in front of me, what I got to do today. But other than that, I feel like I've been good. Movies and music are like my happy place.
Sweet.
And I saw one good movie and one not good movie. I saw Mean Girls, the musical version.
Yeah. Was that the good or the bad?
I loved it.
Oh,
I love musicals.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's based off the musical, not the movie, but
the musical that they did based off the original movie.
Yeah, and then I watched last night. I watched Anyone But You.
That
did it win a bunch of Golden Globes?
Okay,
is that the one with Homegirl?
I will say. Okay, I'm gonna say this.
Are you a rom-com guy?
Rom-com is a nice word. I love rom-coms.
I do too, man.
I love them. I love rom-coms. So I don't know. Maybe this wins you guys back for it. The best way I can describe it, it's a Hallmark movie. Mm-hmm. It has all the cringiness,
sick.
all the bad jokes, but rated R.
Okay.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah.
You might. I've heard. Actually, some of my coworkers went. They loved it. For me, it was just like anything. It's such a weird. I was thinking it's weird. I was thinking about this movie all freaking morning because like something would come on my mind, like that would like upset me.
Not
but
bad.
then, well, no. But then I'd be like, but that was clever. I feel like there's a lot of like really good, like moments, but like they did the Hallmark thing to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in a rated R way.
Okay.
Did they upset you because they've happened to you in your real life, or was
what? Yes, just falling out of my yacht and just trips to Australia for no reason. Everyone's rich for no reason. Everyone's unexplainably rich.
You kind of made me more interested to see it. I'm just like, I want to, like, you painted a beautiful picture. I'm just like, okay, like.
I just didn't appreciate all the nudity.
Steph, we're not going to the 720 showing tonight.
Yeah. It was awful.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that Jennifer Lawrence movie that just recently came out too? It was kind of a romantic comedy where she has to.
Oh, with the kind of nerdy kid.
Yeah.
That one was funny. I like
that. Was good. Yeah.
It was good.
We watched it not too long. Is it on Netflix only, or was it in the theater? No, it was in
theaters.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters.
Do you have the movie pass?
I have I have AMC.
Yeah, but you have the pass where you could go as many movies as you want for like the flat fee?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go, boy.
Dude.
So hard.
You guys have that?
No, but I'm jealous. I see it and I'm like, even if I don't know what the movie is, like I could just go.
Yeah, it's so what it's like 20 with tax and everything, because it's like $23 a month.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
If you're going to 2.
Yeah, and when you get
1.5 even.
You really get 3 free movies a week.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Per person,
yeah. Oh, you guys were I just lost my train of thought. Go. It'll come back to me.
And also you can have like entourages where it's just like if someone else is also part of like the AMC thing, then like if like tonight we wanted to go, I I could book it, and then it would pay. Well, not pay for it, but if you guys have movie pass too,
Yeah.
it would just automatically group it, and I could pick everyone's seats if I want to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I did, dude.
Iron Claw wrestling.
I haven't watched it, but I heard it was tough.
We cried, all of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
There will be Destruction of King wrestling merch. It's for me strictly. I don't really care who buys it, but like I have to make something that I would wear that I get to sell. So that will be, that'll be out there.
So my girlfriend and I went into that knowing nothing.
You didn't even know the story of them?
No. And when we went in to see to like I was like this is one he got really jacked for. I was like, oh, he's a wrestler. Oh, and in my mind I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like a rise to fame, and like I don't know.
It does set it up like that. I knew what was gonna happen, and sorry, I went with my wife and like our friends and stuff. So like just like throughout, I'm just like looking at them. Like, I'm like, oh no, what's happening? And like I already knew. I'm like, this boy's about to peace out right now and heaven out.
That whole movie, I was just like,
yeah. Oh my God, I cry so much. I think that's why I like movies. I cry all day long. But anything that can make me like cry or feel something, which I think rom-coms, why I think like a funny one like is cool. I'm just like, sweet, yeah. I already don't like talking about like emotions and stuff, so I think I get that from movies, and that's kind of like my release too. Dude. Yeah.
So what's your favorite rom-com? All time.
Oh man, you already Crazy Stupid Love is like one of the best movies. I know it line for line. It's written so well. Ryan Gosling has that bod in it. Like Steve Carell's great. All the outfits are sick. Like it's cool. I'll never look like that, but it'd be nice someday. Even for a couple.
That scene at the end towards the end when everybody starts finding out
Kevin
about
Bacon,
each other.
like oh my God, it's so good. I lost my mind. Yeah, that's the best rom-com. We might watch it tonight.
Will we?
Yeah.
What's your favorite rom-com?
Man, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Like
I can never remember the name of mine, but I know exactly what it is.
I feel like I have like my favorite from like eras, if that makes sense.
From eras?
Ryan Reynolds.
Like
where he's telling his daughter.
Like Can't Hardly Wait was probably like one of my first favorite. Like
okay.
I don't know if that counts, but I guess yeah. I really like How to Lose a Guy. I think it's probably my all time.
Yeah. All good.
Mine is a Ryan Reynolds movie where he's
Just Friends?
Definitely maybe.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like telling the daughter the story of the 3 girls he majorly dated, and she has to figure out which one's the story of her mom.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this?
It's definitely maybe.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. Really good movie.
I saw it once, but if you really think about that, like just like when your dad was piping down these lanes, which one was it?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because he's like, it's like the era of, it's like the Clinton era.
Oh man.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, this Bill Clinton guy, he's gonna do wonders for us.
That aged well now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And he's like and they even talk about it in the movie. Like,
yeah.
He's because I think he's like a political, like he works in politics, and I think he's a speechwriter, and he's like, yeah, this Clinton guy's gonna be the future. And he's like, that didn't happen.
That's great.
Yeah, that movie's great.
Definitely maybe. Okay. It's on the list.
Yeah.
So, did you do your mental health check?
Yeah. Talking about music and
Yeah.
I like what you guys said. I wish I heard you guys go first, and I was just like, yeah, I'm fucking depressed right now. You know? Yeah. But I'm trying to work on my mental health. I'm trying to just focus on my fitness and stuff. So I'm a binge eater. So like that's my addiction, is eating when I'm like sad, and eating past full. So
is that bad?
I don't understand the issue. Yeah. So trying to like dial that back, and then just party less. Like, so, when I first did Destruction King, I didn't drink or smoke or nothing. And then I fell heavy into just really, really bad habits. So now I'm trying to do that much less. And even now, like just to have a clear head and just wake up, sleep better, and just focus on what's important right now.
Were you edge when?
Oh yeah, I for sure claim edge. I have a straight edge tattoo. Yeah, my first tattoo is a straight edge tattoo. I have 3 X's on me. I always knew there was gonna come a time and place when like it would happen, and I was afraid, but then I started seeing like all these other dudes I went to shows with, like, and it happened too. I think knowing what that carries for some people to claim straight edge, I would have never done that, knowing that like there's probably going to be a time and place where I would do it. You know, I clearly I didn't understand, or I was uneducated, and having that restriction. There's also just a like dry January is the best way I could describe it. Like, I'm drinking a lot less now. I'm not doing dry January while I could, but to have that restriction and then to feel shame if you have the one drink or you taste a beer, like I don't want to put that on me anymore. So
makes sense.
I feel like when I was claiming straight edge, like it felt weird that I felt bad for even being curious about like, well, what does beer taste like, you know, and stuff like that. But obviously it's been so many years now, but yeah, I want to party a lot less, focus on my health.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's the move in your 30s and 40s. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to be drunk at shows, you know, performing, like, just, yeah. Hell no.
You playlist song?
Playlist time. First, so we have like a playlist for our podcast.
Okay.
But first we want to put, what Destruction song would you like?
Everyone knows. I want to do one that like doesn't get. My favorite song, and even to do live, is Demise. I think it's the first track on our last album that we did, but Demise.
Cool.
It slaps.
Dude, I think you'll be surprised with how much people dig, because I know everyone goes to the EP.
Yeah.
But I think you'll be surprised when you come back to playing shows how stoked people will be on the last
I
album.
kind of wonder if that's going to get some like kind of reignite itself, or maybe just do better now than it did all those years ago. Because even now, the San Antonio show, they did a video flyer, and they're using the song Demise. I'm like, wait, somebody likes the song. Like, I knew it was doing well. Like, I knew it had cool parts. So, yeah, I hope. I mean, I'm still, like, hyped on that song. I think it's really good. I hate the mix and master. You know who you are. I'm sorry, but I just don't like it. You're so much better now. It's terrible, and you know it's terrible.
Have them redo it.
Have them redo it.
I know. I honestly, I might, and just like re-put it out or something. There's no rules, right?
Yeah.
But like, I'm hyped to do some songs off our last record for sure. Yeah. Demise.
Cool. And then it doesn't have to be heavy music. It can be anything, literally anything. A song that you wouldn't mind throwing on our playlist.
Oh, it could be anything. What's been like a something that would maybe like shock, like, are people throwing on like
At this
Well, I put on Volcano Man from Eurovision.
okay, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we've had everything from hip hop, R&B to like
Oldies.
I'm like, do I go just like booty hip hop, or do I go? Oh, you know what song? Like, it's, and everyone can listen to it. It's the group Mint Condition, and the song "Breaking My Heart."
Sick.
Smacks.
I like this because I learned. I've learned so much from this
Pretty
podcast.
brown eyes. All their outfits are so dope.
Oh
This-
man,
this artwork.
the album covers go crazy. But yeah, it's Mint Condition. I think it's "Breaking My Heart" or "Quit Breaking My Heart."
Sick.
I mean, the whole your phone might catch fire if you play it out loud. And just,
Hell, yeah.
Knows it too in their head.
I think so. It's like one of those songs like as a kid you remember hearing. At least everyone, I'll assume you guys are my age, like our age, and
Yeah, we're all the same age.
yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Right there.
And if not, it's one of those songs where it's like I would never listen to this, or you're like, oh yeah, I don't mind this. You hear it once, you're singing it all day.
Stuck.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
No, that's you, Alex. You're stuck somewhere all day. So annoying.
Listen to it. Just give it a shot, and then you can go back to whatever the hell you want to listen to. It's a banger.
Yeah. I feel like I'm really ruining our algorithm for these songs we're picking. The song is called "She's Gone"
Okay.
from Steel Heart. Just treat yourself later. It's fine.
Steelheart, one word.
Steel Heart, one word,
Dang.
all caps.
I'm so for me, I'm going. It's actually a new song that dropped. Kind of heavy, kind of rappy. Landmarks.
Yeah.
That new single, Creature.
Okay.
Have you heard this song?
I know the band. Haven't heard the song.
So, I'll play it for you after we get off here. The dude raps in French to start the song out, and then it just drops heavy.
Yeah. That's fire. I shouldn't have said. I don't know why I said Chacun Bleu. I don't know. Yeah.
Please, you did it again.
Moulin Rouge.
He's like, just stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
I'm like getting the ick. I'm gonna leave. The door's gonna open and close.
All you see is just the door.
Yeah, just the lighting change really quick. Yeah. Can I sleep here?
It's all yours, man.
Yeah.
This couch.
Yeah.
This couch is way more comfy than.
I'm gonna check that. Is Landmarks see branding nut? The A is a V.
Yeah.
There you go.
Landmavarks.
Is it all the A's or V's?
I think just the second one. So Landmavarks.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I remembered it, but so see, it stuck with me because of that. So
that was a trend that went real fast.
yeah, I think we tried that too with DOAK. We did it with the A. I want to say we ripped a lot of just hip hop stuff, honestly. And like I remember, like ASAP Rocky was like a big influence for us when like the deep voice was coming in, like shit like that. So yeah, but they're still doing it. I remembered the name because of it.
Yeah.
So good job, Landmarks. Yeah. Yeah.
Sick. Well, you want to plug any socials, anything like that before we get out of here?
Instagram, just Destruction of a King. Talk to us, drop us a DM. I'll make a link tree to like our store and stuff like that. I'm trying to relearn how to do all that stuff and like where to plug in. And yeah, we're very happy with the response. Thank you guys, and I'll go from there.
Sick.
Yeah.
For us, it's at Walking Blind Pod everywhere. walkingblindpod@gmail.com. And then
We still have the GoFundMe for our Fuels on Wheels, which is back in the shop.
we do still have the GoFundMe going.
Get them to San Antonio, right?
Yeah, get us to San Antonio. Shout out to everybody that has donated to that. That's been like a huge help for us. At least taking like some of the weight away of just having to drop a couple grand on fixing this shitty old van. But we love it. We love it so much. So yeah, and then we'll let Mike do his like, comment, and subscribe spiel, and then we'll get out of here.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
I love you guys. Peace.